Well, thank you. Welcome to the 2025 Economic Development Corporation of Wayne County's annual meeting. That's a mouthful. We refer to it, and I think everyone knows, the EDC. So welcome. We would first like to thank our partners, Whitewater Valley REMC, as well as the Indiana Municipal Power Agency, for providing the food that you've just had. So we thank them for that. They've done it multiple years, so thank you. The centerpieces, I saw a few people noticing the beautiful flowers. Those are provided by our own Parks Department here in the city of Richmond. Those were grown in our local greenhouses. And then Sarah also shared that I think some of the flowers were picked up along the Cardinal Greenway. So yes, so thank you to the Parks Department for the flowers. Yes. You all have seen the wooden centerpieces before. These were provided by the Lincoln Golden Eagle industrial class at Western Wayne Schools. So we thank them for those. They've tuned them up over the years and taken care of them. And so we want to acknowledge those folks as well. So thank you for the wooden centerpieces. It's my pleasure to serve as the board chair of the EDC. Excuse me. And share with you all the terrific projects that are underway for Wayne County. We've started the year with a flurry of activities that include new housing projects, blight elimination, the creation of a land bank, business investment projects, industrial park development, and new marketing initiatives. So we've had a busy year. This work is supported by many partners, and we thank you all for your commitment to the EDC and being here today. So thank you for that, being here with us. The progress that's underway certainly doesn't happen overnight. This is building, and it's a slow and steady progress that picks up from the momentum of previous projects and many hours put in by the staff, which we very much appreciate. As we look ahead to 2025, we have much to look forward to. None of the work that you hear would even be possible without 5 individuals, and I think you all know them and love them. Valerie, Sarah, Rhonda, Teresa, and Renee from the EDC. They do a wonderful job, so thank you. In your report that's there on the table, you will notice the many years of experience that they have and the longevity. And so we're delighted that they're a part of the EDC. Feel free to take the book home and read it at your leisure. Number of reports in there that I think you'll find very interesting. I also want to thank the EDC Board of Directors for committing their time and energy to bettering our community. And if you're a current board member, would you please stand and be recognized? While term limits enable us to bring on new talents and abilities and experiences to the board, it means we have to say goodbye to some board members that are rolling off. We have 4 outgoing board members. 2 are unable to be with us today. Chad Bolser, and let me tell you a little bit about Chad. Chad joined the board in 2019. He completed 2 3-year terms and was appointed by the Wayne Area Chamber of Commerce. Chad's background in education and his role as Chancellor of Ivy Tech, he brought a background in education, and he brought unique insights to the work with EDC. He connected the EDC's work to the higher education and brought the Ivy Tech's Manufacturing Reimagined Initiative program that's transforming our local manufacturers and working with their employees. During his time on the board, Chad served on the Marketing Communications Committee. Chad is also willing to pick up the phone anytime we need to call him, and we're going to continue to do that. So thank you to Chad. We have, unfortunately, another board member unable to be with us, Ann Finnemore. Ann was appointed to the board in 2022 by the Richmond Common Council. Ann served one 3-year term on the board, and as a local accountant, she was very well connected to the business community and offered valuable insights for the financial decisions that the committee needed to make. Ann has a passion for the arts in Wayne County and also other volunteer opportunities. And so we thank Ann spending her time with us. So thank you to Ann. We have 2 more, and they are in the room with us. We have Kyle Turner. Kyle served on the board as well, 2019 through 2024. He served 2 3-year terms. We thank you for that, Kyle. He was appointed by the Centerville Town Council, and as many of you know, he's a strong advocate for small towns. He's a business owner in Main Street, Centerville. He was often the voice of small businesses, and he brought the passion of downtown revitalization, and we thank you for that. Kyle served on the executive committee as secretary of the board for 3 years, showing his dedication to the organization, and we appreciate the extra time you put in on that. Please thank me in thanking Kyle to the board. Kyle, if you would, we'll come up and we have an award for you here. And I think we're going to stand over here and maybe take a quick photo. Thank you. Thanks again. All righty, now I'd like to recognize our outgoing board chair for the past, for 2024, and Pete Zielinski. Pete's been on the board also since 2019, serving 2 3-year terms. He was appointed by Wayne County Council. As a former member of the County Council, he helped bridge many partnerships between EDC and county government. Pete's also a small business owner of Main Street. Pete's been a sounding board as we're navigating our record investment downtown. We very much appreciate that. And the changes that are on the horizon for Richmond are incredible. So thank you, Pete, for your work and working with us. Pete was also on the executive committee for 6 years. 3 years as treasurer, and then he moved on to serve as vice chair and eventually chair. So Pete, thank you so very much for your service, and we ask you to come up and receive an award. Thank you. Wonderful. Alrighty, it's my pleasure to welcome our president, Ms. Valerie Schaefer, to the podium to share with you our 2024 year-end review.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon, and I want to also thank you all for being with us here today. Many of you are involved in numerous community and economic development projects all across the county, but don't often get to really hear a recap of everything that's going on. And so I'm happy to share that with you today. We had an opportunity just last week to share a very condensed version of this update with Governor Braun, who visited Richmond and was very interested in all that we have going on and seemed sincerely impressed with the progress that we're making and the great deal of collaboration that he sees in Richmond and Wayne County, and even indicated that he'd like other communities to come over and see how we're getting things done. So that was quite an honor for him to be impressed with all the work that we have going on. So about 5 years ago, the EDC began to shift from a traditional economic development model that was predominantly focused on business development to now include a focus on talent development as well as placemaking. This was a direct result of our strategic plan that we developed that included 4 goals that we wanted to focus in on in order to be an attractive community, not only for businesses, but also for prospective residents. As you can see here, these are the 4 goals. Alignment among our stakeholders, targeted growth, which means retaining, attracting, and expanding businesses, enhancing our quality of place, and talent development and attraction. These expanded priorities led to the EDC being able to add a new staff member a few years ago, which increased our capacity so that we could begin working in areas of downtown development, talent attraction, housing, and even childcare. This has been done while staying true to our mission of focusing on facilitating business development opportunities, as well as expanding our industrial parks to serve the growing needs of industry. But no matter what project we're working on, there is always one constant, and that is the power of collaboration. Our strategic plan wasn't just a plan for the EDC to execute, but rather a plan that identified numerous community partners that the EDC would call to the table to help us achieve these goals. So you'll hear today about numerous partners that have really worked with us and with their respected boards and local elected officials to complete projects that are collectively making a big impact in the community. You'll see on this slide a demonstration of how enhancing our quality of life leads to our ability to attract and retain talent that then allows us to successfully recruit industry. No longer can we rely on recruitment of talent or leave that on the shoulders of our private sector. Instead, as a community, we need to make intentional investments all throughout the community if we want to improve upon our future. So as we've launched into the implementation of this strategic plan amid the pandemic, as you can imagine, there was certainly delays in making progress as we were very distracted. However, the post-pandemic resources that became available thereafter have made a significant impact by allowing us to make great strides in implementing this plan. So as I mentioned earlier, goal 1 is alignment, and I want to share a little bit more about this because there is a tremendous amount of work that's happening in this space. First, we have the HELP program. Last year, we celebrated the hard work and dedication at this meeting of all of the communities and leaders that came together to create and put into action the Hoosier Enduring Legacy Program. With that program, we developed a strategic investment plan for Wayne County. And over the last year, most of the projects identified in the plan are either in progress or have been completed. We were grateful to have the engagement of 8 different jurisdictions throughout the county that came together to develop and execute this plan. The success of HELP has then led to enhanced engagement in a new countywide planning effort that's underway, led by Forward Wayne County and the Wayne County government. This time around, 11 jurisdictions have come to the table to be a part of this process. Together, we'll develop a new strategic investment plan that will prioritize projects for each individual community, but also prioritize projects for the county as a whole. Then, because we don't have any funding at the end of this, we will work together to identify and apply for local, state, and federal grants that will help bring this project to life. Lilly Gift 8. This was an opportunity for our partners at the Wayne County Foundation to apply for a grant from the Lilly Endowment to develop and implement projects that enhance our community's quality of life. The timing of this was perfect to use the HELP plan as a launching pad to be able to demonstrate to Lilly all of the momentum that we already had going in the county, but also tie in and apply for funding for 2 quality of life projects. Those were the Whitewater Gorge activation in Richmond and the Cambridge City Performing Arts venue. After a lot of additional community engagement and a successful application, the foundation was fully funded by Lilly, and those plans are already in the works of being implemented. Next, we have Ready. I look over at Trevor because he and Caitlin with the East Central Indiana Partnership, as long as with our friends at the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, have really allowed Wayne County to apply for and be the beneficiary of funding from Ready 1.0. And that funding, as you're aware, is helping to implement the new 6th and Main apartment complex downtown, which once complete will bring 150 new luxury market rate apartments downtown. I would say that even obtaining the local match required to bring that project to fruition was a great example of alignment. alignment between our local and government elected officials who together decided that this was a project that we wanted to accomplish and partnered in on the funding for that project. Fast forward to today, and after additional months of planning, we now have a new regional development plan for Ready 2.0. And we're currently awaiting funding decisions from the Indiana Economic Development Corporation for projects that we've put forward as a county for funding consideration. If successful, this could mean additional funding for the new Smith Hill housing subdivision, neighborhood stabilization projects, and new downtown revitalization efforts could be launched. Last year, we also recognized the great work of Earlham College for their team's leadership in the creation of the Revitalize Richmond Plan that led to the college receiving a $25 million grant from the Lilly Endowment that will result in significant, This will result in significant investment in downtown Richmond, the Whitewater Gorge Park, as well as enhanced connectivity between the college and downtown. There are numerous partners in the room that together are helping to execute various components of that plan. I'm sure you all have seen the progress of the Reid building. So we have Richmond Neighborhood Restoration in the room who are really working hard to completely revitalize that property. And the EDC's role is to facilitate the redevelopment of 5 historic buildings in downtown Richmond. Once complete, this will result in about a $27 million investment by a private developer and will add an additional 100 new market rate apartments to downtown Richmond. So that combined with 6th and Main, I hope you all can imagine what the next 3 years will look like when we could have over 250 people living in our downtown, essentially creating a new neighborhood that we've never experienced in downtown Richmond before. Next, we have our quality of place goal. This means we need to recruit and retain talent. Oh, thank you. If we want to continue to recruit and retain talent, we must invest in our communities to ensure we're offering a thriving place, both for individuals and families to call home. A lot of these projects are a direct result of the HELP program. The first, the Wayne County Blight Program. This was developed and is currently managed by Sarah Mitchell at the EDC. This program, by the end of the year, we hope will demolish about 44 homes that are blighted, vacant, and abandoned that are deteriorating in our neighborhoods. The goal is to eliminate these unsafe and hazardous structures that are negatively impacting not only residents, but their property values. Next, we have the Wayne County Mural Program overseen by the Wayne County Convention and Tourism Bureau. They have already completed 11 new murals throughout Wayne County, adding vibrancy and public art for everyone to enjoy. The next project I am really proud of. As a community, we were able to successfully raise over $50,000 for each of the communities of Cambridge City, East Germantown, Economy, Milton, and Dublin to complete new park projects in their communities. This is significant because smaller towns often feel limited by the amount of money that they have to complete projects. However, this grant program through the Indiana Housing and Community Development Agency allowed them to unlock a $50,000 match to bring these new parks to fruition. Through HELP, the Wayne County government has also contributed to a new child care center overseen by the YMCA for infants to 5 years old. This is incredibly important to the work of economic development because working families need child care seats for their children so they can get back to work. All across the state, we're facing child care shortages, and so anything that we can do as a community to come together and encourage new centers to be built is only going to help get working parents back into the workplace. The Gorge Activation Plan is a fun project. I hope you noticed the Q&As on your table there, little fun facts about the gorge that the Parks Department dropped off. But this Gorge Activation Plan is progressing nicely thanks to funding support from HELP, Revitalize Richmond, and Lilly Gift 8. Collectively, these gifts are significantly accelerating the pace of our ability to get these projects completed far quicker than anyone ever imagined. Upcoming projects in the Gorge Park include a river walk, bouldering garden, adventure playground, and a boat launch. Next, we have the Cambridge City Performing Arts Center. I just drove by last week and noticed that the site is staked and ready for construction. This is nearly a $1 million project in the heart of Cambridge City's park that will add outdoor performance venue for residents all across the region to enjoy. This project was funded with a combination of Lilly Gift 8 and the HELP program. And now we move into downtown revitalization. So this slide demonstrates a lot of the investment that's currently happening downtown. Each color star represents either one or multiple programs that are being invested into particular properties. This includes Revitalize Richmond, the City's Place program, Ready 1.0, and Wayne County's Downtown Revitalization Grant recipients. To the right, you'll see additional grant recipients awarded to other property owners and communities across the county. This grant program offered up to $100,000 grant for downtown commercial properties to help with building renovations, stabilization, and beautification. In total, the program awarded $2 million for 21 properties across 7 communities, and these projects are already starting to take shape. I think it's also just worth mentioning, when you look at this map, the concentration of all the investments happening in downtown Richmond. This is record investment that we have never seen before. All in all, over the next 3 years, we expect roughly $100 million will be invested in downtown Richmond. Like I mentioned earlier, essentially transforming it into a neighborhood. This is a combination of public, private, and philanthropic gifts that are helping to accelerate the revitalization of this area. And our hope is, with new renovated buildings and additional residents, this will be a magnet for new small businesses. Additional housing is perhaps the most important quality of life project that's underway. All other improvements are meant to help attract and retain our population, but without new, modern, and desirable housing, where will these new residents live? There are several projects in the pipeline that the EDC is helping to facilitate, and our focus was really heightened a couple of years ago when we finished our new housing study that indicated over the next 5 years we need 2,250 new housing units just to keep up with demand. So as you can see from this table, there are projects in the pipeline within single-family homes, multifamily developments, as well as some neighborhood stabilization projects. Housing is a significant challenge in smaller areas as compared to large urban centers because the home sale prices and the rental rates are much lower than you would find in an urban center. However, the cost to build this housing is roughly the same. And this essentially creates what we call an appraisal gap for housing developers. So without housing incentives, it's incredibly difficult for new developments to occur. So we've had to get really creative with our resources over the last year. And that is why the EDC has created the Housing Accelerator Program that launched in early 2025 to jumpstart unfinished subdivisions by reducing the cost of the infrastructure needed to complete them. If successful, the program will add 82 new housing units throughout the county. We're inducing this development with $10,000 grants per lot with the requirement that a home must be built on the lot by 2029. The total investment by the community could be roughly $820,000 if we get the funding approved. However, the return on investment will be about $26 million by home builders, both for the infrastructure and for the lots or the homes that will be built. So if all of these projects come to fruition and find the funding that they need, it could result in 889 new housing units over the next several years. I do believe this is worth celebrating, but we're only getting to about 40% of our goal of 2,250 new units, so we still have a lot of work to be done in this space. For our employers in the room, I know you can attest to the importance of talent development and recruitment for you to be able to continue to grow and thrive in this community. One of the ways that the EDC is assisting with this is through the rebranding of Home and Wayne. the county's talent attraction brand and website to support talent recruitment efforts. Human connection is at the heart of the brand, which features a new logo, tagline from Here I Can, new color palette, website refresh, and soon an employer toolbox. We are really proud of the work that our community has done with Iron Gate Creative to get to this point, to relaunch this brand with new vibrancy and energy that we hope will really support our employers. Here you can see the new logo and slogan and see that our primary colors are teal and black. However, this is an expanded color palette that you'll see in some of the marketing. And finally, this is our first ad with the new branding that will be placed in the East Central Indiana Livability magazine that should be published in the very near future. And this image really reinforces the human connection that we feel is so prevalent here in Wayne County. Another talent attraction initiative that's managed by the EDC is the Make My Move program. This program incentivizes remote workers to relocate to Wayne County. And it's done through an incentive package that we have to offer. So we offer a local concierge to help provide relocation information. Everybody meet Rhonda Fisher, our concierge extraordinaire. We also offer a $5,000 cash incentive that's paid half up front once they relocate here and the other half once they've been here for 1 year. In addition to that, we have other community memberships and packages that we have to offer. The individuals can choose from their interest of either outdoor recreation, arts and culture, fitness package, or a history package, which includes memberships and passes all across Wayne County. We're fortunate to partner with Make My Move because they handle all of the back-end logistics, all of the marketing, and screen candidates for our review and approval. To date, we've had 27 remote workers and their families successfully relocate here, with one more currently living in a hotel trying to find housing. So that gets us to 28, and our goal is 30. So we only have 2 slots open. If you know of anyone, please send them my way. So of the remote workers, as I mentioned, 27 households. That results in 63 new individuals, 42 adults, and 21 children. The average household income is about $110,000 a year, and the average household size is 2.3 people, with the average age being 39 years old. This demonstrates where our residents are coming from. So I would say the top state we're receiving workers from is Florida, and then Ohio, California, Illinois, and Tennessee. And as you can see here, 52% have a prior connection back to Wayne County, whether that's friends or family that live here and are encouraging folks to move back. And now we have our targeted growth goal. We really want to retain and attract businesses that align with the priorities of the county, but also that align with our existing business clusters. This is essentially business development and has been the role of the EDC since its inception, and it really remains at the forefront of everything that we do. More than anything else that we work on, I can say that business development is certainly a team effort. With the help of our utility providers, local and state government partners, workforce development experts, and the East Central Indiana Regional Partnership, we regularly compete for new investment projects. No 2 projects are the same, and they all require an extreme attention to detail in order to find and provide all of the information that is requested from us. Another role of the EDC is to ensure that we have adequate land available to support growing companies. We oversee 2 industrial parks and work with our industrial park committee to make sure that our parks can accommodate the needs of industry. Preparing land for development takes many years of planning and significant financial resources. So I'm very grateful that we have the support from our local elected officials that understand that without our parks, we would not be able to compete for new businesses. Not only is land availability important, but so are adequate utility capacities. In the Gateway Industrial Park, we're working very closely with the town of Cambridge City to expand water service. And that will include adding a new 1 million gallon per day water tower. Through lots of coordination, we were able to successfully apply for and receive a $2.8 million grant from the Federal Economic Development Administration to help be applied towards the construction of that water tower. But as you can see, we're also working on new marketing assets for the park as well. We have a new billboard up on I-70, and our friends at Hoosier Energy and Whitewater Valley REMC put together a new promotional video that we're using on our website. In the Midwest Industrial Park, we've been working closely with our friends at the Richmond Sanitary District to expand wastewater capacity for growing tenants and prospective new industry. We've worked on many ways to market this park as well and just completed new drone videos that are found on our website as well. One major task that's underway in this park is the preparing it to be shovel ready. We have a new phase 3 that was just acquired a couple of years ago. And so that work is currently underway and will take several years to get done. But I would like to invite Sarah Mitchell to the podium to share more about that work and recognize a partner that's helping us along the way.
Okay, good afternoon. This year, I have the pleasure of recognizing our partners at the Richmond Fire Department in the Partnership and Economic Development Award for their work in supporting the development of Phase 3 of the Midwest Industrial Park. In 2023, the City of Richmond, in partnership with Wayne County Government and the EDC, purchased 335 acres just south of our existing Midwest Industrial Park in Richmond. And following the acquisition, we knew there was a lot of work to be done to make the grounds shovel-ready for new and growing companies. And at that time, I called my friends at the Richmond Fire Department to see if it was possible to coordinate controlled burn on the 3 farmsteads that existed. Altogether, there were 19 structures that needed to be removed, and the controlled burn would not only save the city significant resources and dollars, but it would also provide much needed training opportunities for them and surrounding volunteer fire departments. And so following the removal of some salvage materials from these properties and the completion of surveys for asbestos and other environmental hazards, Richmond Fire Department began scheduling the control burns. This project was an excellent training opportunity for their firefighters, as well as the other county volunteer fire departments that were invited to participate. We recognize the Richmond Fire Department for their unwavering commitment to assisting with the controlled burns in the Midwest Industrial Park and acknowledge the time and dedication needed for the project, in addition to providing training opportunity to Boston, Centerville, and Webster. Representing the Richmond Fire Department today to accept our partnership in economic development are Chief Jeff Kinder, Assistant Chief James Clark, Prevention Chief Doug Gardner. If you guys could please come up. Please congratulate them. This is heavy.
Continuing with our targeted growth goal, it was time to revamp the EDC messaging to aid in attracting new investment. We replaced our old hardworking, easy living tagline with success will find you here. Expanded messaging reads, growth-driven opportunities, access to diverse resources, and a proven track record. This explains what a company will experience here and what the EDC will help them achieve. Our logo and colors are unchanged, but we do hope to be revamping the EDC website in the not too distant future. Last year, our friends at the East Central Indiana Regional Partnership completed a target industry analysis for the East Central Indiana region that validated our existing business cluster clusters and identified new emerging industries that we could compete for. And that was because our assets align with those needs of new industry as well as the skilled workforce that we have here. Our primary targets include advanced manufacturing, food processing and value-added agriculture, logistics and warehousing, and information technology. It's no surprise to us that food processing and value-added agriculture are growing clusters in the region, building upon over a dozen food companies that are here, as well as our animal food production industry with Hills, Purina, Blue Buffalo, and now Anchor Ingredients. Last year, we celebrated a record $424 million of new investment by our manufacturing sector that included a major $220 million expansion by Blue Buffalo. We also celebrated the grand opening of Anchor Ingredients. Their $40 million pet food ingredient and transload facility was built next to Blue in the Midwest Industrial Park. Their business is open. They've already hired 30 individuals and are seeing great success with that facility already. So while attracting new companies often makes the headlines, the heart of business development is business retention and expansion, which is supporting existing business through the coordination of resources, partnerships, and tools to ensure that they continue to remain successful here in Wayne County. Last year, EDC team member Teresa Lindsay made 73 visits to local companies to assist with various needs. 3 of those companies moved forward with new investment projects that collectively are investing $67.8 million and creating 118 new jobs. So now I'd like to invite Teresa Lindsay to the podium to share more about each of those projects.
Good afternoon. It's my honor to be able to present these 3 investment awards for 2024. So first up is Richmond Beverage Solutions. They are a subsidiary of Dairy Farmers of America, and they own and operate production and warehouse facilities in the Northwest Industrial Park. They began operation here in Wayne County as Wayne Dairy in 1921. 1994, the company was purchased by Smith Dairy, and in 2022, they became Richmond Beverage Solutions. They produce a variety of extended shelf life dairy and non-dairy beverages, ice cream, and shake mixes for retail and food service customers. In 2024, the company added new equipment to modernize its manufacturing process, resulting in a $44.8 million investment and the commitment to create 65 full-time jobs. The company received an EDIT grant in the amount of $215,000, which they could use towards building improvement, purchase and installation of new equipment, training of employees, and building improvements. So we are very thankful for the company's commitment to Wayne County for over 100 years. I would like to welcome Ken Davidson and Brian Olson, who are here to accept our investment award on behalf of the company. So next up on the list is Vandor Group. They are a locally owned and operated manufacturer. They have several divisions operating in Richmond and across the U.S. Richmond is home to their divisions of Real Options, Custom Injection Molding, Starmark Funeral Products, and their newest division, Progress Paper Tubes. Last year, the company invested in several areas in Wayne County. One of those investments was the purchase of 1400 Industries Road. For those that don't know where that is the original home of Dana's regional headquarters, and then it was Wolverine Worldwide, and Vandor purchased it last year. Now that building is home to Vandor, and they've consolidated their shared services staff, customer care center, Starmark Products showroom, and research and development center in that building. Merchants Bank of Indiana also leases space in there, and they expanded in Wayne County, so we're thankful for that as well. Further, in early 2025, Vandor partnered with the purchaser of 3700 West Industries Road. So for those that don't know, that's the former TBK building, So Vandor's Progress Paper Tubes division moved from its current location to a much larger space in that building. So all told, in 2024, Vandor created 23 new full-time jobs and invested more than $6 million into Wayne County. Here to accept our investment award on behalf of Vandor is John Sheehan and the rest of the Vandor team. And our third investment award this year goes to Transcendia Incorporated. They are a plastic film manufacturer and converter located in Richmond's Eastern Indiana Industrial Park. In 2024, they added a new production line and state-of-the-art equipment at their plant located at 300 Industrial Parkway. They also created manufacturing capacity in a second plant across the road that they previously used for warehousing. The company is in the process of investing a total of $17 million between the two locations. The new machinery will enhance technology as well as increase speed and efficiency to produce complex composite films for the healthcare and food and beverage packaging markets. The company will add 30 new full-time jobs. Both new and existing employees receive training in classroom as well as on-the-job settings. The company received an edit grant from our office for $95,000 to help with the reduction of costs associated with the training, improvements to the building, or the purchase and installation of equipment. And here to accept our investment award on behalf of Transcendia is Cody Cahoon and Kim Nolker.
$73 visits, that's it?
Yeah, 73, that's all. Slacker. I know, I was a slacker last year. I'm so sorry, my friend.
Let's give another round of applause for all of this investment. So that concludes our presentation for today, but I really hope that you all have learned a lot about the flurry of economic and community development projects that are taking shape all across Wayne County. This work is extremely important to our economic vitality. But I want to just encourage you the next time you're asked to be part of a planning process, and I know there's a lot of them, but it's incredibly important. I hope today you've seen how those plans are coming to life and how Wayne County doesn't just let a plan get dusty on a shelf. We jump into action and we collaborate and work together to accomplish big things. So thank you all who are involved in a lot of these projects, because it truly is a team effort. Thank you.
Well, that's it. Thank you all for being here today. We appreciate it. I wanted to again thank our sponsors. They're there on the screen, the Indiana Municipal Power Agency and Whitewater Valley REMC for lunch. Very much appreciated. Thank you for that. I hope you're excited about the future and all the work that EDC does. They're a small but mighty staff, and I couldn't be more proud. They're incredible to work with, so thank you. The Parks Department, as I mentioned, made the flower arrangements for you on your table. I have been told, let me read the notes here. There are pins all around the table. I think a lot of the pins have yellow in the middle. There's one pin that has blue. And the pin that has a blue square in the center, or the state of Indiana in the center, gets to take the flower arrangement. So please feel free to take that. So a little game to play. Yeah, I'm sorry, just the vase of flowers, not the wood. We're going to reuse those as we do each year, so we want to keep those. We also want to thank Reid Health, and we want to thank Paul for his gift. Here we are in Lingle Hall. So thank you all for being here, and I wish you a great rest of your Monday. Thank you very much.